The universe is 13.8 billion years old, but we can see about 46.5 billion light years in any direction due to the fabric of space being stretched, with the observable universe being about 93 billion light years across. However, with the relatively new timescape model, which contradicts the dark energy or cold dark matter or lambda CDM model, we can note how the universe expands in a more lumpy as opposed to uniform manner, making it appear as if the universe is accelerating faster than it actually is. Simply stated, gravity is the cause in the timescape model for slowing down time itself roughly by 35%, according to the theory for our own galaxy. Oppositely, in the emptiness or voids of space, time would thus flow faster since it would not be hindered by these additional gravitational forces. There are two wonderful videos on the topic that can explain it in much better detail than myself, as I am no scientist, and as such apologize if I misconstrue anything on this topic. The first is by Dr. David Kipping, and the second is by Dr. Ryan Ridden, which will offer a better explanation than I can offer. With the timescape theory, things are not as homogeneous or evenly dispersed as we may have thought, hence the timescape's model of a lumpy universe. With this model, gravity is slowing time down in concentrated areas where galaxies exist, while oppositely, things speed up in voids due to there being less gravitational influence. Time thus passes slower for us people confined to galaxies than it does for that which is in the void of space itself. Thus, perhaps the large redshifts we see do not actually indicate cosmic acceleration. Remember, light waves are stretched by the universe's expansion, going toward the red end of the spectrum. Thus, the larger the red shift, the farther light is traveled. Oppositely, a blue shift occurs when the wavelength of light contracts or is shortened, i.e., getting closer to us. According to the timescape theory, however, the redshifts we see, which we think indicate an accelerative universe, isn't the result of an actual accelerating universe, or at least one not as rapid as we currently think. The acceleration of the universe in reality could just be a mere illusion caused by this unevenly distributed or lumpy matter, where time moves slower in more dense regions of space while faster in its voids. Things may be moving farther away from us, but at a much slower rate than we initially thought based on our measurements. Still, time dilation is in effect, moving slower in areas of concentrated mass due to gravity, and faster when out in the void. Land's own model is highly reliant upon the zero and the nihilistic abyss of space itself, tied to cosmic Cthulhuian creatures, where capitalism leads to time dilation, acting as a sort of time machine in some sense. In Land's model, it is organization and reterritorialization that slow down the deterritorialization process. In the nothingness or void, time ticks faster, so perhaps there is still some correlation to Land's ideas. Either way, our cosmic fate or destiny as a species is fundamentally altered by this timescape model, especially when considering how, for example, the Big Rip and Big Freeze are reliant upon an accelerative universe. But with this timescape model, we see an even bigger connection to Land's philosophy emerge. With science constantly changing its ideas and theories, it acts almost akin to an inverted hyperstition in some sense. What science believes to be true in time ends up being disproved, or at the very least altered in some way. Rather than fictions becoming facts, what were once facts have since become fictions. And the end of one hyperstition marks the start of another. Our fate and destiny is always being altered based on the ways in which we read or interpret the stars and the astrological or astronomical confines of the cosmos, relying upon mathematical figures and numbers to do so. One meme king dies so that a new meme king may take the crown, until that meme king too is inevitably conquered. Will the lambda CDM or the timescape meme reign supreme? And how long will either last as man pushes along the path of progress? Yin flows into yang, and yang flows into yin, alternating states endlessly. Alchemically, sun merges with moon. Perhaps like the complex conjugate, one multiplies by its opposite sign so as to ensure it produces something real. From the second comes the third, like derivatives of endless difference. Such things are like complex and connected couples.